Hey Ravi, I have a few very basic outlines of the book. This is how I broke down the book in the outlines. You don't need to do anything with this master outline. I just wanted to show you a vision for the book based on what we've talked about. Now we can rearrange this material any way we want, but this is how I'm envisioning the process going. You told me there are five stories, five women, 15,000 words each. That's five chapters of 3,000 words each for a very balanced book. Now, obviously, we're going to have more words or less words in each chapter, but if we can shoot for having 3,000 word chapters, it can help us plan and it'll be a good read for the reader. And then I divided it up, each woman's story, five chapters, chapter 1 through 5. Basically, these are milestones, major milestones in each woman's story. So when you look at the outline, you have an outline for each woman's story, and then I just did the first five chapters, which is on this woman here. So I'm going to click on it, and this is what I need you to do. In one sentence, what is the most interesting or compelling thing about this story? What is going to get the reader's attention through and keep it throughout the entire plot line of the story? And it needs to be very simple, and we'll develop that idea and set that hook. And it needs to be something that keeps the reader interested and isn't really wrapped up until the very end of the woman's story. Where does the story occur? I need to know which kingdom it's taking place in, where they're going to travel, if there's any travel, and each of these scenes needs to have an entry in the spreadsheet about the scenes, and I'll show you where that is. The five milestone events. What are the five milestone events that occur in the story for this woman? Those will serve as the main ideas of each of the five chapters. And then finally, how do the plot lines come together in the end? And I'm just looking for a sentence or two, and that's going to wrap up the hook. And then, after you get this main story down, then we're going to go to the five chapters. Each of these chapters has the same basic outline. First of all, it should have a hook at the beginning. In one sentence, was the most interesting or compelling thing about this story that's in this chapter. So each section has a hook, but each little chapter has a hook. So what's the most interesting or compelling thing about this chapter? So I'll just change that to chapter. Where does this chapter occur? And this will be a redundancy. We'll need to know, is this in the spreadsheet? I'll show you the spreadsheet in a second. When does a story occur? Does it occur in the past, present, distant past, or distant future? And of course, that's just a couple of words. Which characters are introduced? If there is a new character, obviously this is chapter 1, so every character is going to be new, and we need to make sure that all characters have a profile in the spreadsheet. What do the characters need to learn in this chapter? And then what are the important events in this chapter that we need to include? So I just put, and you also need to include any conversations that happen. Like, do you want the characters, do you want Rama to learn XYZ in a conversation with Lakshman? Or do you want a guru talking? We just need to know and plan conversations if possible. So list out the major events that need to happen in chapter 1. So, at the end, I'm going to add, what do we need to learn next? So let me open up another, look at these chapters real quick. Okay, I need to add one little thing. At the end, there needs to be grab attention for the next chapter, like keep the reader interested in the next, what's going to happen next. And I will add that to the outline. Okay, so let's take a look at um, spreadsheets. I just titled it Character Chart for Rama. Now, this made me tired just thinking through my example. So this is the example. This is an example character, and so I need to know what kingdom they're in, the parents and the parents' status and job. So I just put Sarah and Jim, lowborn blacksmith, their age at the beginning of the story, and then the age in the second half if they appear in the future setting of the story. And I just go through a whole lot of questions about each character. 36, and I'm probably going to add more. But I need to know like what their awareness is of other characters. You know, do they know of other characters in the story, or do they learn about other characters? Are they aware of the country's history? Like if we talk about the country, does a character know about the country? Are they aware of the history of other countries? Are they able to produce and use their country's goods? For example, this character, he's from a blacksmith family. Well, does he know how to blacksmith? You know, this country specializes in making weapons. So yes, he makes the swords, but he can't use the stuff in other countries. So if you talk about making silk in other countries, well, this guy doesn't know anything about it. But sometimes characters do know. So we need to think through all of these things about the characters. And so I only did the five main characters, but every character in the story needs to have uh, these questions answered about them. So what I need you to do is the ones for the main characters, all five women, and all the kings, and um, anyone else that's the central important character, and I'll take care of uh, the littler characters. So this will help me imagine this world. And then we have sheet 2. This is about the kingdoms in general. And so you want to name the kingdoms, and you can name them the old kingdoms, and we can come up with new ones with new names. But I need to know their location in relationship to each other, if you know that. You know, how far away they are from each other. What is unique about their culture? You know, are they warlike or are they peaceful? You know that the Dothrakis in Game of Thrones, the unique thing about them is their horses and their warlike culture. What do they make that's distinctive about them? You know, do they make the best weapons? Do they make silks? Do they specialize um, in farming? You know, what's unique about this country? Um, what are the past wars? Do they have any wars with each other? And this will come up in conversations between the characters and their prejudices. Um, and now, who are their past enemies? Well, who are currently enemies? You know, which of these five kingdoms are about to go to war? And do they know that they're about to go to war? Do they trade with other kingdoms? Does Kingdom 1 trade with Kingdom 5 and not with Kingdom 3, and so Kingdom 3 hates Kingdom 1? You know, we need to know who's trading with who. Are these countries aware of their own enemies? And are they aware of their own history, enemies, and goods? So, sometimes a kingdom doesn't know, the current administration of a kingdom doesn't have a good handle on what the kingdom is good at. So we need to know if the people in charge, do they know about I'm sorry, do they know about other kingdoms' history? Like, does Kingdom 1 know everything about Kingdom 2 and 3 and 4 and 5? What's a mystery to them about the others? What's the most important thing and most interesting thing about this country? Is it strong or weak? Um, and give me any kind of links to how you imagine this country. Links to images. What is their religion like? And what do the people in this country fear? Now, I'm probably going to add to this, but this will give us an idea of what we're dealing with. So, this is the kingdoms. Another thing to add uh, are things about scenes, but I'm guessing that the scenes, I mentioned that earlier, I was assuming that scenes would be in these 5 kingdoms. And if there's a scene that occurs in another kingdom, just add Kingdom 6, Kingdom 7, and we need to get this populated. Thanks for choosing me, and I know this is a ton of work, but it's going to go a long way in helping get the ball rolling.